Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Jamie Soretta. On this podcast, we celebrate everything local in Arizona. And our next guest has quite a fabulous collection of couture dresses, so much so that she wants to share her dresses with you. Welcome, Jenny's Dresses. This is Jenny Weinstein. Jenny, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you for having me this morning.
We have to talk about your dress collection that you have here because you are located over at Scottsdale and Shea.
Right in the heart of Scottsdale.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Well, right by Chaparral, where I went to school, Chaparral High School.
Yeah,
so I always think of that when I come see you. And tell me what we see when we walk in the door at your place.
When you walk through the door at Jenny's Dresses, you walk into a wonderland of glamour and glitz and the most unexpected jewelry box of couture dresses you could ever dream of.
Yeah, you're right. I think
You've been there.
Rhinestones, feathers, fringe, mirrors, and just racks and racks and racks of beautiful dresses. And these are high-end dresses. Tell me a little bit about how you built your collection.
Well, I started my collection about 8 years ago. I call it like finding treasure at the bottom of the sea, like a Jacques Cousteau moment. And I came upon an estate where there were boxes and boxes and boxes of dresses that were unworn for over a decade. And I realized I had stumbled upon something really important because the dresses that I have and the gowns that I have are from the 1940s to the present.
And one of the makers is?
Well, we have, of course, our glitzy, glamorous Bob Mackie.
Yeah.
We have Versace. We have dresses that with labels that some women have never heard before. But yes, we carry a huge collection in every color of the rainbow, everything you could dream of. And the best part is that nobody will ever be in the dress that you're wearing.
Yeah, because it's so unique and vintage too.
Vintage too.
When you said Bob Mackie, when I was visiting you for Local Love, I knew that was a big name. But you know how Reels and Instagram will always have your back?
Yes,
And I was
yes.
watching something on Instagram, and it was Cara Burnett and Cher.
Yes, they both wore Bob Mackie and an array of other famous actresses.
Yeah, they were both singing a song about the variety shows they had and how Bob would make them a beautiful dress. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know where I can find one.
Yep.
Go see Jenny. Tell me a little bit about this career path for you, because how'd you end up in Phoenix in the first place?
Well, I grew up in Honolulu, Hawaii, and I went to Arizona State.
Go Devils.
Yeah, go Devils. And met my husband there the first couple weeks of school, freshman year. And so hence the story unfolds that we've got married and raised our children here, and we've been a staple in the community, a family here in the community for over 35 years.
How great does that feel to just make this home?
I love Arizona. I can't think of a place I'd rather be.
Yeah.
I love the desert. I love the people. I love the galas and the events that go on here. They're endless. And I feel that Arizona is a very welcoming community because some places you go, people have lifetime friends, and it's kind of hard to work your way into the circle of love. And sometimes you can't even work your way in because they have these friendships from childhood. But here I find Arizona very welcoming, and everybody wants to make friends.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
It's
It's really
very
interesting because people say to me, oh, you're a local who stayed here. I moved around and came back, but I really enjoy my childhood or college ASU friends.
Yeah.
But I love making all those new friends and new people and showing them our city.
It is, and it's evolved so much. I mean, you and I, we both went to Arizona State. I remember, riding through the wash, and none of the buildings were there. And if it rained, we were like, four-wheeling in a Jeep and all muddy. And then it was just, it was the stadium and the two mountains, and a mountain, a mountain.
That running path is now Tempe Town Lake.
I know. Now our youngest son runs it in this running group that's so much fun.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
they meet up there I think nightly.
Yeah, it's a beautiful lake, but I think it's the same story of this was a wash when we were here.
Yeah.
And we have to tell people how you met your husband at ASU, because first of all, what were you studying, and then where were you that one fateful day?
Well, a couple weeks into school, we're all just starting to make friends, and I lived in Manzanita Hall. We all know the famous Manzi with the triangle windows, and I had just come back from the gym, and it was dinner time, and one of the girls said, "Hey, Jenny, come on and sit with us." And there was one seat open, and it was next to my husband, Bruce, which I didn't know was going to be my husband.
Yeah.
So
Did you think he was cute?
great.
You're like, oh, I will sit here.
It was kind of love at second sight.
Oh, a second sight?
Yeah, because
You're really hungry that day. Just like, I need to focus on my food. Let's talk about this in a minute.
yeah. So it just it happened organically, so unexpectedly. And now we've been married. Well, in this July, we'll be married 31 years, 3 kids later.
Wow,
So,
Congratulations.
thank you.
And then kids raised right here in Phoenix, Scottsdale.
All of them raised, went to Chaparral, like you. And our middle one, he played actually football for Saguaro. He's the center and started that whole dynasty. You know how Saguaro's like win and under Jason Mons. And then our youngest, he kind of finished out at Desert Mountain High School. And so we've just kind of been all over the valley all these years.
And then did you study fashion at ASU? What was the fashion pull for you?
Well, so when I met with the guidance counselor, I wanted to go into fashion. And at the time, my mom, she's like, "But Jenny, you're such a great artist. Maybe you should go into fine art and you can always do fashion." And so I ended up getting a Bachelor of Arts degree. I went the 2 years at Arizona State and then actually finished at Loyola University in Chicago. So my degree is from Loyola University in Chicago, but I still consider myself an alumni of ASU.
Yeah. And fine arts degree?
Fine arts, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are you a sculptor? Yeah.
I'm a sculptor, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why when a woman walks through my doors, I can assess you just like that. I know exactly what's going to fit. I know I can look at your height, your size, your dimensions, and just pull what's going to be great for you.
She's ready to chisel away.
Yes, yes.
And put the perfect dress on. And let's talk about the variety of dresses that you have, because you have so many different sizes. You have so many different colors, and from, the glitz and the glam to the very simple and stunning.
Yes, thank you. So we carry cocktail attire. We carry black tie, gala attire. And guess what? Now my wedding dress collection is expanding by leaps and bounds overnight. I have grown from having maybe 20 brand new with tags to now hundreds.
Oh, my.
Literally hundreds. And so now that it's bridal season and, with June, July, August going into the fall, and we're a destination location for weddings, I just keep all of a sudden dressing these wonderful brides.
Oh, wow.
And second marriages.
And at Jenny's dresses, it's unique because you can buy or rent.
Correct.
Tell me how the renting works.
So the renting works like this. Dresses start at $99 and go up from there. So, to rent a dress, let's say, is $100, a certain dress, right? It's not that embellished. It's, not a high-end designer or whatever. Can rent that. And then if you wanted to buy it, it's usually $250. So that same dress. I like the Bob Mackie we were talking about. Let's say to rent it, you can rent it for $500 for the night, but you're wearing an $8,000 dress. So the husbands are very, very happy about that. Yes.
I didn't know the math would compute for them. I am saving you $7,500.
That's right. And look at how I get to look for this gala event.
Next to you.
And then I get to bring it back and can choose a new dress for my next occasion. So it's really fun.
And you must get a lot of people who attend a lot of galas. They don't want to commit to that $8,000 dress.
Right.
And still be able to wear such stunning pieces of work.
Right. Really, truly works of art. And, to be able to rent a dress for $99, $100, a couple $100, I mean, it's just so, these women feel so lucky that they have happened upon Jenny's dresses because, just like everything else today, prices have gone up. And, fashion certainly has gone up as well. So to be able to just enjoy and feel good about it and not be stressed like when your credit card bill comes at, the end of the following month, and just know that you're taken care of
Right.
at Jenny's. It's a win-win for everybody.
And what was this? Some 7 years ago, you're going to start it out of your house?
I did. I started it out of my house. It was just kind of like a fun project, you know? And I thought, because I love fashion so much and I feel like it's meant to be shared by everyone, and within reach for everyone, you know, I started it. My husband actually bought me the first rolling racks I've ever had in my life to like get it all set up. And then it started by word of mouth, and then it grew so big. It got so far removed. I didn't, you know, hi, thank you for calling Jenny's Dresses. How did you hear about us? Yeah. And it was just too far removed. So he's like, Jen, you've got to sell this collection or you've got to get a storefront. Yeah. So I just wasn't ready to give it up. So I got the storefront.
He's like, they must be out of the house. So I do not mind where they go.
Yeah. And the ladies, it's crazy because they were wanting to come after work, 5:30, 6 at night. And I'm getting the sign, the wrap it up, you know, cut. Like, you know, guys in fall, they want to be watching football. Yeah. So, you know, it's like.
Oh, funny. Yeah, and you can't wrap it up. You're like, she's in the Bob Mackie.
Right. And look how good she looks, Bruce. And he'd be giving the compliments to the girls. It was great. You know, because you want a man's opinion. Yeah. Oh, that color on you.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, how fun.
It was fun.
And I want you to tell the story about, weren't you on a cruise when you kind of happened into this cachet, if you will?
That is true. That is true. So we were on a cruise, and it was a day at sea. And so we're all in our swimming suits, you know, just having lunch and some cocktails. And one of the girls in the group says, Jenny, you know, I know how much you love fashion. I came across a couple Bob Mackies. You know, maybe you want to check it out when we get home. Yeah. Well, some people would forget about it. Some people would be, you know, their life gets busy, you know, you just don't go. But it kind of had piqued my curiosity. So it was, of course, the middle of July, and it was an inferno out. And it was one of those days where, what am I going to do today day? And I'm like, well, maybe I got myself all dressed up. I didn't know what to expect. I really didn't, Jamie. I had no idea of what I was going to happen into. And hence, you know, it was this estate. I thought I'm going to see 2 dresses, and I saw like thousands. So like I said, boxes unopened, unworn, and it truly was a love story, which I love even more about my initial collection. They were both in the military, and she was in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, believe it or not, a major in the Air Force, an Air Force nurse. And he, the husband, was a colonel. So they lived their life in uniform. But as she traveled the world, she collected these gowns because they would get dressed up, and she would get dressed up for him, and they would have dinner. And because they never had children, the estate was left intact for all those years because she predeceased him by a decade, and he didn't have the heart to part with any of her belongings. Wow. So it was finding a hidden treasure.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a beautiful story. And then to know that these dresses get to go out and live what a life they have with all these different people and different adventures.
It's just, I wish sometimes the dresses could talk. You know, like how you say, I wish I could be a fly on the wall, in a room sometimes. Yeah. It's just, the history has continued on. And I was even thinking, like, down the road, you know, at the Phoenix Art Museum and how they have their annual fashion show. Yeah. When the time comes, I was thinking, you know, I would love to share the fashion with them as well, you know, on the runway where these ladies can see them really as the works of art that they are.
Yeah. Have you talked to them yet?
Not yet.
Do we need to talk to them?
It's kind of on my I would love to talk to them. Let's talk to them. I'd love to get them.
I know people over there.
You do?
Good morning, Arizona.
I know you know everybody in this town.
Good morning, Arizona sends me places a lot. I'll find you the right person. I can do that.
I know.
Look, I was over there have you been over there with the Barbie exhibit yet?
No, but now that I'm back in town, I'm definitely going to go. I've got to see it. And you know, we dressed a lot of girls for that when the movie came out, the mothers and daughters. You know, so I even have dresses for like young teenage, teenage
prom.
Girl. Yeah. We were slammed for prom.
Really? That's awesome.
Slammed for prom, valley-wide. Girls are coming even from Prescott Valley. I mean, from all parts of really all over our state, including San Diego. Like, you can't believe, and I can't believe how girls are having a really hard time finding the right dress for prom. But when they come to me, it's like within the first 5 they try on,
Wow.
they've like found their dream dress. And the thing is, then they get to bring it back.
Right.
They just have to rent it. So the moms are so happy,
Yeah.
you know, because prom dresses, to buy them, they can get up there in price.
Yeah. And then what do you do with them? It's a
Yeah, they
prom,
sit in your closet and collect dust.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, you know, we also are taking in dresses that people want to retire. So it's just not the original collection anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's continued to grow. So people always say, "Oh, can I look for a dress on your website?" I say, "No, I'm sorry, you can't. You have to come in person because the dresses are coming and going and changing so much on a daily basis."
Yeah.
I mean, a
they're
person
one of a
couldn't
kind,
keep.
and
They're
all-
one of a
yeah,
kind.
yeah.
Nobody will ever be in the dress you're wearing
Yeah.
when you go to an event, which is so great.
Mm-hmm.
Is so great because that just adds an extra boost of confidence
Right.
to the event that you're going to.
I mean, I've been in that moment, and I use, I use a rental service for many of my dresses that I wear on TV, and sometimes I'll rent something for an event, and I've
Yeah.
stood across the room and said, like, "Hey, girl," you
Oh, I
match
know.
eyes, and you're like,
That is the biggest nightmare, and I know that feeling
Yeah.
because. Believe it or not, we were on yet another cruise. Our family loves to cruise.
Yeah.
We love to be on the ocean because of growing up in Hawaii. Like, I
Yeah.
love being on the ocean. So, now I lost my train of thought. What I
It
was
was
trying
about
to
matching dresses when you show up in the same
my
outfit.
gosh. I'm trying to forget on purpose because it was such a fashion
Oh, no,
faux
tell
pas.
the story.
Okay. I walked through to the captain's dinner and I'm wearing this emerald green dress. And I said to myself when I had purchased it, nobody is going to ever be in this dress because emerald green for a lot of women is a really tough color to wear. Lo and behold, I walked through the double doors into the captain's dinner, and there are 2 entrances. I'm walked in one, and across the room, this other woman walked in the other double doors. And I took one look, and I was just like, in that moment, mortified.
No.
But I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to be a lady, and I am going to make, like, a great moment out of this.
Yeah.
Instead of putting my head down, I'm going to walk with my head held high and my
Yes,
shoulders back.
yes.
And I walked right up to her and I said, "My name's Jenny. I have to tell you, you have very good taste in fashion." I said, "Would you like to take a picture together?" You know, so instead we just made it into this moment.
Yeah.
We traded numbers and the rest
that's
was history.
awesome.
So yeah, I do know that feeling
Yes.
of like, what is happening?
I feel like women are changing, though, aren't we? I mean, I feel like we're doing more of what you're doing, is embracing that moment, enjoying the
Yes.
laugh on it,
Yeah.
and complimenting each other,
And lifting each other up.
Yeah. And I don't know if that was always the case or, it's just maybe more visual sometimes now, but I'm always happy to see that. So thanks for being that star that you are, Jenny, with handling that moment and spreading that love. And that's kind of the backbone of your business was spreading that love and making people feel beautiful and adding other rhinestones and lifting your head up a little higher just when you put on those shoes. And this is something that you loved as a little girl.
It's true. And when girls come to Jenny's Dresses, they get to walk the diamond sparkle runway in diamond heels because sometimes girls forget to bring them. And so, yes, from the time I was a little girl, I just always have loved fashion. I used to love watching my mom, sitting in front of her dressing table and, getting dressed to go out on a Saturday night date with my dad and, all the attention to detail, your mascara, your lipstick just right, and picking out the perfect outfit. And I guess I've just been mesmerized by fashion since really, and color. But that's the artist in me.
Yeah.
I remember doing coloring books, and we used to have those color forms where you could it was a toy that you could get at Toys R Us and change the dresses magnetically and the outfits and the shoes of,
Yeah.
So I've just always had an affinity for fashion.
So I have 2 questions, so don't let me forget
Okay.
both of them. First of all, I have to let you explain this diamond sparkle runway to the people.
Oh my gosh.
And then my second one was, what were you doing before? Were you sculpting before?
I was.
So just don't let me forget.
Okay.
So let's go to the runway.
Okay.
Describe the runway to the
Okay.
people.
So the runway. So I decided when I built this flagship store, I wanted every young lady and woman to experience what it felt like to be a supermodel. So hence the Diamond Sparkle Runway. And I just had this vision and I knew whatever it was going to take, I was going to build it. And you know, kind of like that movie on the baseball movie. If you build it, they will come.
Great movie.
You know, you know,
great movie. Field of Dreams. Yeah,
Field of Dreams.
right?
The Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
And so when women walk in and through the glitz and glamour of that foyer entryway into the back where all the gorgeous gowns are, and the focal point is the diamond sparkle runway and the client, they're just blown away.
Yeah.
Like, to even have that experience, you know, as a young lady or a grown woman, you know, is magical.
Yeah.
The faces light up, you know, the attitude starts to come out. Like I said, the head is high, the shoulders are back.
I mean, there's only one way to wear a crown, with your head up high.
Yeah, and we've got
them
lots
there.
of those. We got lots
Yes,
of those.
yes,
That's
yes.
a photo op moment on your way out the door. Princesses
sure.
and queens styled here.
Oh, I love it.
You know, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So what were you doing before you what were you doing professionally before you opened that store? Were you sculpting professionally?
I was. So, you may not know this about me. But I am one of 5,000 artists that participated in the World Trade Center competition. I did a design for 9/11. I also have been a featured guest on the Oprah Winfrey Show for my belly sculptures of pregnant women. I'm actually the artist who started the belly sculpture back in the day. And I was on Oprah. I said one day to my publicist, who was from Chicago at the time, just in passing, literally as a joke, not even meaning it seriously. Her name was Sue. I said, Sue, wouldn't it be so cool if I could get on the Oprah Winfrey Show? So without me knowing, she went on Oprah's site and looked it up, you know, and they were doing a segment on people with unusual passions. So she wrote a letter about me. And before you know it, I got a phone call. Then before you know it, I'm getting flown there on American Airlines, sitting in the green room, getting my hair and makeup done. And they could tell that I was nervous because, you know, you don't get to meet Oprah until
It's
you're on. It's all impromptu. It's like, and in front of a live studio audience. So they're doing my hair and makeup and, you know, kind of feeling me out, like asking me some questions. They could tell I was nervous. So they must have said something to Oprah, because I walk out in front of all these people. I don't even know who they are. People are clapping. All the cameras are on. And we're sitting like literally shoulder to shoulder in these two chairs up on the stage. And right before the segment starts, she leans over to me, Oprah, and I lean over to her and I go, I have to tell you, you're so beautiful. And she says, so are you. She says, don't worry, honey. There's only 20 million people watching. And with that, the laughter began, because like, to even fathom that many people are watching me, and I don't even know what you're going to ask me or what, you know, what's going to happen. And she and her staff had flown in all these belly sculptures, and one of them even got unveiled to a gal who I sculpted in Chicago. She didn't get pregnant with just one baby. She got pregnant with two after years and years of trying. And they were like placed right in the front of the studio audience. So the unveiling of the belly sculpture happened right before their eyes. Like, it was really great experience, I have to tell you. And I think that now that's why when I am on Channel 3 with you or doing a podcast with you, I just feel comfortable, because that's just a lot to comprehend. That's like a lot.
Well, Oprah warmed you up for me.
She
so thank
did.
you,
She
Oprah.
did. Thank you, Oprah.
She was very nice for her.
It was a great warm up, wasn't it? Don't worry, honey. There's only 20 million people.
I usually just tell people it's just my mom watching. That's
I
usually
love
what I
it.
say.
Right, or in their underwear, right? Just imagine everyone in their underwear on the audience.
Oh my!
But
what incredible experience!
It really was, and so unexpected.
Yeah.
Like so unexpected. And then I also designed the scarf for the Lyric Opera of Chicago one season, and it like sold out in a week.
Wow.
It was for an opera, Don Quixote. And I also am the gal here in town that came up with the project called the Face Tolerance Project. This was years ago. The Scottsdale Center for the Performing Arts, as I'm sure you know, Jamie.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
every year
I'm familiar.
They have a program there where it honors all the fine arts, whether it's singing and theatrics or it's, you know, fine art, etc. And so music. And so at the time they had heard about me because I built this flag out of sculpted hands of children. It took a whole school year to build, and it's literally till this day still at Cocopa Elementary School. You can see it in the cafeteria, and it's so cool because the first two stripes in the flag are like kindergarten, and then first grade, second grade, they're all the way down to the bottom.
Wow.
Like we sculpted the hands down to the teachers, the nurse, the cooks, everybody was included. And it was like after 9/11. And the only reason I did it for that school is because our oldest daughter, Skylar, she was in first grade at the time. And so I told the teacher, the art teacher, hey, I have this great idea. Maybe we can, build this to kind of teach these young kids kind of, because they didn't really understand what had happened. You could just tell the parents were, everyone, the whole world was upset. And so it was like a way to put it out there on the table for children to be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
And feel proud to be American and be free.
Yeah.
So that flag still exists till this day, sculpture.
Oh, cool. Over there at Cocopa.
Yep, you can see it. It actually was transferred down to the State of Arizona building because I built it modularly. It was three-dimensional and like 4 foot by 4 foot wooden cubes, like baby blocks, built on top of each other so it could be transported. The sculpture is longer than this room and higher than the ceiling. And it's just something I'm really proud of. So.
Yeah, you should be.
Thank you. Yeah.
Are you working on any sculptures now?
It's interesting that you bring that up because I was just, I watched this movie on the airplane about fashion today and how a lot of these materials are going into dumps and how it takes over 100 years or more for textiles to break down. And I got this idea that I think I'm going to start doing some huge paintings, but that are three-dimensional and using within them, like doing like these beautiful women in beautiful gowns, but taking these pieces of fabric and using them three-dimensionally into the painting or into the sculpture because I really was upset by what it's doing to our planet. Yeah. And I thought that could be a way to turn what some people are throwing away in their garbage into beautiful works of art.
Right, utilizing that.
Utilizing it. Mm-hmm.
It is interesting with the fast fashion and some of these, clothing avenues now that you get sent to your home and it's so cheap. But then
it's all this ready-to-wear stuff.
Yeah.
See, the collection that I have at Jenny's Dresses, I mean, there's silks, they're glass beads, they're really, truly works of art. In today's fast world that we're moving in,
it's wear once.
It's wear one and done, and it doesn't hold up.
Right.
It doesn't hold up. It really does. Straps break, buttons come off. It's just that's why it's called ready to wear.
Yeah, and that's how it's made.
It's made to wear it a few times and then dispose of it.
Yeah, but we have to protect that disposing of it.
Yes,
and make sure we're treating that properly.
Yep. That is very true.
Yeah, it's an interesting world. I mean, things are changing. It's nice to have things that are easy to wear and ready to go, but we want to make sure that we're not just, filling the trash bins.
I know. I really was very, very affected by that film. Yeah. And
do you remember the name of it?
Well, they were talking about. I gotta get the name of it. It's probably called Ready to Wear. For all I know, but it's because fashion at certain establishments is very easily affordable. Yeah. And so the masses of people are buying it and then wearing it and disposing of it. Whereas if you go back to like the 1900s in America, like you were lucky if you had 1, 2, 3 dresses. Like, that's just the way the world was. Right. And today, because we move at such a fast pace and you've got that delete button on your computer and people's mindsets are different.
Yeah, I'll just buy a new one. Amazon will deliver a new one tomorrow.
Or today.
Yeah. Or 20 minutes. It's already on the way. Amazon heard me.
Yeah. And then I have been getting women coming in on the other end of that spectrum saying, I ordered the dress. It's not here yet. And so they're looking at me too as a last minute resort. Yeah. It was supposed to be here 3 days ago. My event's tomorrow. Yeah. Jenny, help.
and help you do. Because I
Yeah.
want to talk about the different experiences that you offer. I feel like I can't say Scottsdale without saying bachelorette anymore.
That's true. That is so true.
And you're part of that party now. Tell me
Yeah,
how.
let's do it. So the girls are coming in, playing dress up, this, that, and the other, taking that photo out moment on the Diamond Sparkle runway, making that memory, having some champagne, having some, cupcakes.
Yeah.
But boy, I'd sure love more people to know about us that are coming in from out of state. I'm also a great resource for people that lost their luggage. Oh my gosh.
And they came in town for a gala. They're accepting an award tonight.
I know. What
nothing
am I
to
going
wear.
to do? What am I going to
Yeah.
do? Actually, I was dressing a gal who was the speaker this year for Fight Night. And she came in, like they have all of the
A speaker for Fight Night. I mean, that must be a big name.
auctioneer.
Oh,
Yeah, the auctioneer needs a gown, right?
Yes.
All the stories are
Yes.
different. Like every day at Jenny's Dresses is different and a different day.
I'm sure.
I actually, like told you briefly, I had the current reigning Mrs. America come in yesterday looking for an alternate pageant gown just in case another contestant would be showing up in the gown she chose.
Right.
So we're just here for everything, for weddings, bar and bat mitzvahs,
Mother of the bride.
mother of the bride, mother of the groom, pageants.
Dance. Tell me about your dancing.
Oh, dance. Oh, my gosh. I just finished a competition here in the Valley. I've been wanting to dance in it for the last 4 years. And it's at the Westin Kierland. And it was right at the end of May.
Ballrooms?
Ballroom, yes. I do competitive pro-am ballroom dancing. So we even have dresses for new dancers. They don't know their sense of style yet. They don't know what colors really look good on them. So yes, we have rhythm dresses, smooth dresses, international rhythm dresses, international smooth, whatever a girl can dream of in that competition industry, in that world, we can even dress you for that.
Wow. Well, that's great.
It is great. It is, especially because these ball gowns and competition dresses are thousands and thousands of dollars. So for literally a few $100s, you can wear really a dress of your dreams until you get that sense of style that maybe you want to project out there on the competition dance floor and, maybe have a custom dress made. So I'm a great resource for that too.
I mean, what do you not do?
I don't know. It just seems like, because I'm a yes girl, like a girl will come in and say, Jenny, can you do this? And I'm just like, I never say no.
Yeah, you figure it a way.
We'll
Especially
figure
the
out a way.
artist mind of you.
Yeah.
So you've got the business sense, you've got the creative, you've got the love of fashion, and then you have the artistic side. Well, what would you tell someone about getting into a business like yours, starting a business for themselves? What would you say, maybe a mistake that you made, like even with the city and the code or, lease of a space? What would you tell someone to do, to not do, making a jump similar to yours?
Well, first of all, I think that whatever endeavor you decide to go into, you have to feel passionate about. You have to feel excited about it. You have to feel in a way like you're bringing something to the table that's never really been experienced before, that you almost have like this niche in the marketplace. Yes, we have great days. Yes, we have really tough days. And unexpected things will occur, just like you've said. So I really feel like taking a step back, taking a deep breath, looking at these life lessons as ways to move forward with grace. I come from the generation the customer's always right. So even on days where, maybe a customer didn't feel fully taken care of, I'm always going to go that extra mile to make sure that they're happy and that they feel like $1 million. Things happen, life happens. Situations happen, and I feel like it's all how you step up and address that individual situation, as I said, with grace, gratitude, and with the customer just always being right.
And class. I heard the word class in my head as you were saying that to me.
Yeah.
When you're not sculpting with your family, on a cruise, at a beach, you're working hard. What are you doing? What are you loving in Arizona right now? What are you eating? What are you drinking? What are you reading? What are you doing?
Well, now that I just finished this competition with my dance partner, my pro-am partner and teacher. I'm kind of like looking forward as to what's next. And I know there's one coming up in September at the Talking Stick right off the 101. And it's called Galaxy, and the Galaxy Dance Competition, dance sport. So I'm continuing my dance lessons and continuing working on that craft. And as far as food goes, our family absolutely loves Italian food. And our staple in the community here is Il Capo. It's right by Scottsdale and Shea, and it's right there in one of the little strip mall, actually across from where I'm located. They have got the best food. They have the wood-fired pizza oven, and they make strombolis, bar none. So delicious. So they've got great salads, pizzas, all the authentic homemade Italian types of dishes, gnocchi, and you just can't go wrong. So that's kind of like our little watering hole.
Is that
we
the
love.
north? Or no, is it the southwest corner?
It would be the northeast corner.
Oh, okay, like
The
Bird Call.
northeast corner. Yeah, in that shop in there, but on the backside,
Il Capo.
like further east.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds
It's
delicious.
so good, and when the weather's beautiful, you can sit out. When it's hot, they've got a beautiful decor on the inside. It's just got it's a casual atmosphere with really, really good food. They import all their flour and things from Italy, so it's really, really good.
People are always asking me about where to find good Italian, so I'm going to have to go visit.
Yes.
Jenny, it was so great to see you. Congratulations on
too.
everything. Thank you for
too.
telling your story to us. It is Jenny's Dresses. Jenny, thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening to Jamie's Local Love, the podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Soretta. Our technician is Tom Heidinger. Our editors are Lorraine Shearing and Gina Coy. Do you know a business worthy of some local love? Email me at jsoretta@azfamily.com. Follow us at facebook.com/Soretta and Instagram @Soretta News. Make sure to subscribe and give us a 5-star review, please. And tell your friends about the podcast and the businesses we feature to show your local love. You can find us on Apple, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Jamie's Local Love, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast.